Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Covers. If you're watching for the first time, my name is Daniela Bleckner, author, book journey mentor, and founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. This show is about really showing you what goes on between the covers of writing and publishing a book. So I'm going to introduce you to my first and only guest of today. Her name is Judith Daniels, author of The Body's Happening. She enjoys nature and taking long walks and loves writing fantastical books. She's fun-loving, humorous, and has an imaginative mind. Her love for writing led her to a year of working in news and affairs. Having a passion for social justice, she's just spent a large part of her life supporting people on the autistic spectrum and has also had a career in the criminal justice sector. Her biggest achievement to date is, apart from publishing this amazing book, is volunteering in Kingston, Jamaica, where she set up a men's group as part of a mental health project. Judith is now an established life coach and lives in London with her husband, children, and black cat. Okay, let's give a lovely welcome to Judith. And again, if you find this of worth and value, please do share this out. Tap the screen, show us some love, and feel free to throw up your comments.
Hello.
Hey, Judith, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. So you are now officially a published author. How does it feel?
It feels like I need to celebrate it more, but it's a great achievement. I am proud of myself, and because it took a long time getting here, I need to celebrate it more.
Celebrate it.
As you
Come
said,
on, let's
put my hands up in the air, like,
live. Give us some two hands up emojis. Celebrate some little poppers going off or something.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you obviously you told a little bit about yourself? Can you show us your book and tell us a bit about your book, The Body's Happening?
The Body's Happening. Right. So this book is basically not based on. The idea came because my son, when he was younger, was diagnosed with stomach migraine. And with that, he kept on having really bad, like vomiting, diarrhea, hospitalizations, etc., and so forth. Anyway, one day after a particular episode, and it's funny, just like with all of us, you go through something, you forget. It's like going through pregnancy, you forget the pain after you've had a child.
Right.
So straight after you've given birth, in fact. So what happened? He was eating dinner and he was just shoveling it down his throat. And I said to him, like, you've just been through this episode. Your organs must be really complaining. And as I sat there, I thought, that's a good idea. And so it came from that. It was born from that. What are our organs thinking about what we're doing, what we're eating, what we're smoking, what we're drinking? What are they thinking about it? So The Body's Happening was born.
Amazing. It's an absolutely fantastic book. And I think, as I've said so many times, it's just an amazing way to teach young people about their bodies and organs. Yeah. And I learned a little something there myself. So I did indeed. I did. I love the way that you've like personified and given characters to each different organ in the body. So can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, one's called Gassy Massy. Without telling us all of the characters, give us a sense of the characters and where you got your inspiration behind the names.
Because I thought about what they did. And, the stomach produces gases to deal with, what's going in, your lungs, your cells. That's where, the air comes in and they expand. So they move the body like, cells moves the ship. So that came to me.
Yeah.
Kidneys, twins, of course, we got 2 of those. And so it came on, I think liver, because maybe the kids won't understand it, but, Lily livered. It's a play on words, but, in the end, he will be Captain Liver. And so on and so forth. So I think it's also my sort of, fun nature as well. A lot of people will say they do say I'm quite funny. So that's where that came from. And I wanted to have an element of, fun. It's not just a science book and it's not totally scientific anyway, but it's more fantasy science. But just to get us thinking, adults and children as well. So if an adult reads it, like, what am I doing to myself?
Yeah, exactly. I know, it really did make me think, and to give a sort of greater appreciation of the body as well and the organs. Do you think that there are enough books out there that teach young people about the body and its organs, not just in a reference non-fiction way, but do you think there's enough books out there that teach children about their body and their organs in such a unique way, in the way that you have, in a storytelling format?
I think Probably, and everybody's different. Everybody will bring that across differently, and the audience of children will, you know, they'll capture it differently. So one child would really like this, and for another, it'd be like, oh my gosh, what are they're saying? So I think, I mean, going into Waterstone's bookstore, there is books reaching the ceiling of, your body and what have you. But you're quite right, quite factual, scientifically factual. When I was on Amazon, I saw, a book like sort of same title, and that was What is Happening to My Body. But I feel, the next in the series, I still wanted to have that jokey, family sort of things that children can, not that kids can really tease anymore, but oh, gassy massy, they will remember that gassy massy.
Yeah.
Oh, my stomach produces gas. An easier way of remembering what their body is doing. So I'm just hoping it will have that sort of influence. The kids will find that, like, when we're doing something, oh, my lungs are expanding, I'm like a ship, I'm growing or something like that. That get them thinking that way. So the body, what's going on inside means a lot more than I'm just walking and functioning. And that is with the two minds as well. Because, we always say things like, oh, I was in two minds about things, another play on words, or, so they can think about, like, this is my negative mind. It's stopping me wanting to do what I know I should do. So that's the sort of, play on words. So I hope, to be honest, I hope I am unique. I hope there's nobody else like this.
Well, I haven't seen a book like that, and I'm
There you go.
holding the book up right now, but my partner, who's a science teacher, has taken it to school, and then the kids are looking at it. So fantastic.
Good.
What I loved about the book was the vivid imagery, like you're saying about the sails. It helps you to imagine them, expanding, and the opposite of expanding, contracting. Can you show us some of the images in the book?
I can indeed. So there's a whole literally chapter of the images, isn't it? So
Hey, Leah.
Can we see that? So this.
Yeah, you hold it right up.
Can you see that?
I'll just put the other way a little bit. The other way.
This way?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Perfect. No. Yeah. We get the idea. No,
I'm getting the idea. That is gassy massy.
You just need to move it that way a little bit, but turn it back. How you had it?
Is it that?
Yes, there you go. Gassy massy.
That is gassy massy.
Love that.
And let's see who else we've got. And then we've got, I mean, people will know that image quite well, won't they?
The twins. If you're watching, here can tell me, Leah, I know you're watching. So Leah works with my partner. She said she'll steal the book from him. She's an English teacher like me. Can you tell me, what do you think? Judith has just shown us. I feel like I'm back at school now. What do you think that we've just seen? What organs are they? The twins. Yeah. We'll give you a few moments. Do you want to show us another one?
What about Turbo?
Ooh, Turbo. Come on, Leah. We're depending on you. I know there's a few other people watching. You've seen a couple of the images now. So just write down what you think those images are. And if you have any questions for Judith, please do throw them up as well. This is an interactive show. So this is your chance to ask any questions. So in terms of writing the book, obviously you came to us with the first draft. How did you find that process? Oh, Leah says she's on her phone. How did you find that process of writing the actual book?
So it took years. Imagine. It took me a long time because of the way my mind is. So in fact, to be honest, I kind of wrote a lot of it and put it down because other things were happening. And then I'd come back to it. And as I was saying before, I cannot type a book. Where my mind is at, I have to write things out and then I type it and things will be added along the way. So this took a little while. The next ones won't take this long, but this took a little while. And it was challenging for me because I'm sitting still today, but I don't often sit this still. So it was quite challenging. So I did use music to help me a lot. I need music to help me do this. So the journey to you got the easy part of me, to be honest. But the journey to you, and because I work in organized care, so you might have seen that in my emails as well, slightly disorganized. But I got there in the end. And I would say to anybody doing anything, not just writing a book, get there how you get there. You know, people say, sometimes I listen to these, and imagine I'm a coach, but I listen to these gurus and they're coaching about certain things, and there's this way of doing things, but you've got to get there how you get there.
100%.
If this is going to be a success, it's going to be a success the way I get it there. It might not follow the same formulas, but I will get it there how I get it there. And then that is something I can move in, I melt in, I can, it's a breeze for me. So it was difficult. I've done it, and I'm here today to tell the tale.
And you're gonna
I didn't
celebrate,
cry
yeah?
over it, but I'm celebrating. But it wasn't easy. But then people say things that are good and they're not easy, isn't it?
Exactly.
But I don't want it to be hard.
It was worth the challenge.
It was worth it.
The wait.
It was worth it. And so, like, when you put some of your stamp on it and gave me ideas and so on and so forth, and encouraged me that it was okay. It's an okay, it's a good book.
Great book.
That was worth hearing that as well. So yeah, it's I'm proud of myself. I'm celebrating.
Amazing. Good. You should do. It is a fantastic book. It's a really, and it's like I say, it's unique. So what about the publishing process then? Was it what you expected? So obviously you have the writing process, and that can take its time in itself, as you said, and you rightly said as well, there is no one set way of doing anything. Myself, I'm neurodiverse, and that we've had this conversation. So are you. It's how you do things and what works for you in the best way. So the publishing process, when you handed the book over to us, how did it feel kind of handing that book over and let that baby go after so long?
Relief. It was relief somebody else had it, and was looking over it and editing it and doing their bits and pieces. I mean, I remember Pamela said to me that Pamela Hayes, if nobody knows her, brilliant author. She's written Loving the Brothers and Loving the Sisters. Have a look at that. Where she said to me that it kept coming back with all these different changes, and she's like, oh, and I think that got me as well. Like, it's coming back. You're changing my baby. Just let it be that rambling thing. And I know it has to be good, but that was the first bit. But it was good to hand it over to yourselves and let you get on with those finer things, the tweaks that I wouldn't have seen because it was just my eyes.
Okay, perfect. Leah has. Oh, I can hear myself echoing there. We've got a comment from Leah. Let me highlight it. She says, "All right, by hand first as well, and I'm in my writing place. Watch." So, okay. So Leah is one of our authors. She's written 3 poetry books with us. And are you in Bertie's? She has a specific place that she writes on Thursday night, and it's Thursday. Yes, I do know where you are. That's a good question for you, Judith. Do you have a place where you like to write?
No, but I should find one. I think if I'm not in my house, it would be better for me. And I need to find that place where, it just really, if I could, probably in a park somewhere. That would just be so inspiring for me. Not in my garden, in a park.
We were talking about that, nature, and how it's a great place to relax and just find yourself. I do a lot of writing. What is it about nature then that appeals to you?
I think I'm a universal spirit. I connect with nature. I hear it. It calms me. I see things in it. A lot like my dad. My dad is somebody that he just loves nature. Just nature programs he watches all the time. And so maybe that, that's in my DNA, but I love nature and it calms me. It calms my racing mind. It just brings me peace. Anything going on, I'll take a walk. I will hear the universe say, well, this is what you've got to do. I will hear that, or I'll hear myself better. I will hear the universe in me better that says, all right, do this. I can manage my problems when I'm in nature. So that's where I should be. But we're in England. Nature for us is about 3-4 months out of the year because most of the time it's cold and rainy. So but I do well in nature.
So my next question was, are you going to write your next book in the park?
Am I going, sorry?
My next question was, are you going to write your book in nature or
well,
in
I should, shouldn't I? In the park over the summer. Yeah. I've got about 3 on the go, so I need to streamline myself. The summer's not that long.
I'm gonna delve into that. So what are your plans first of all for this first book, The Body's Happening? What are your plans for it? What would you like your plans? What are your dreams for it?
My dreams. My dreams for this book is firstly, or for me, having written it, is to be fulfilled and to keep on being fulfilled in what I've accomplished. And then getting it out to, not and then getting it out to, but getting it out to, the children, Public Health England, schools, and just really marketing it, that it grows. There's something that people want. But most of all, for me, that I'm fulfilled in it, you see. And
Okay.
people have ideas and goals for things, but I have chased a lot of my life fulfillment. Now, what fulfills me? And I've always been distracted. And I
Mm,
know writing fulfills me. I know, having done this has really fulfilled me. But to be happy in this, to constantly celebrate this, because as I said, it's still somewhat over there. And I'm still working out why. It's not a fear, it's just like, hey, what is this? I want to enjoy the fulfillment of it, but then
mm,
market it. And then hopefully our children's health will improve. We get our
mm.
children eating a bit better, thinking about what they're eating more and what's happening to their bodies. Because honestly, what we know what's happening with our children's health. We know the food. I mean, the other day, a bit of a digression here, but the other day I was feeling so unwell about 3 weeks ago. And I knew it was the food. I was having aches and pains in my legs. And I think I eat quite healthily. And I've had to just cut out some stuff because I know that this thing I just felt was killing me. So if that's doing it to me, like kids now, when you're younger, you can eat all sorts of that stuff, but they're
Mm-hmm.
going to get older and those things catch up with you. So if we can get our children, because diabetes and fat want to take over the world. This
Mm.
book tells you that
You're
person by person. So
honestly
we
so
need to.
right. So right in what you're saying. You said a lot there, and the first thing was,
Mm,
being fulfilled, being able to say, right, I've written my book, I had a vision to do
yeah,
something, I've achieved that. That's amazing, and celebrate.
yeah,
But that fulfillment is really important. But you just spoke about the message there, and it's so
yeah,
powerful. Because I mean, I could talk about this
mm,
forever. I won't. The food that we are
mm,
told is good to eat, the processed
mm-hmm,
food, the air we breathe, the chemicals we use, all of these things, our
yeah,
children are consuming with no knowledge of what it is they're consuming. And so books like that
yeah,
that are easily accessible but can be read
yeah,
in a fun way really help
yes,
them to be aware, and adults as well, of what is actually going on inside the body, because our
yeah,
mind is always constantly looking outwards. We have no idea
definitely.
how hard our
Mm,
organs are working just to keep
working.
us sustained. So I think
Yeah,
that part of it is really powerful. And
mm.
I think you could create some nice merchandise with your little
That is,
gassy
oh yeah, I
massy.
forgot to say. That is what I want to do. That is definitely that, when I'm thinking about it, definitely merchandising those characters
There you
because
go.
and what they look like. And then they might say something, so Gassy Massy stomach might just make a, noise that kids like, laugh at. But those things and have something that they say as well, that is educational for the children. So that is definitely on the books, merchandising the characters.
Workshop, school talks. Just throwing it
Hmm.
out there
And
for
school
you.
talks, yeah.
There's so much you
Yeah.
can do. There is so much you
Yeah.
can do. It's a great book, honestly. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
So B, who's watching on YouTube, says, "Hey sis."
Hey.
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 If anyone's got any questions for Judith, please do throw those questions up. If you're just tuning in, I'm Daniela Bleckner, author, book journey mentor, founder of Conscious Dreams Publishing, interviewing the awesome and amazing Judith Daniels, who's just published a book with us. It was released literally just a few days ago on the 15th of April, called The Body's Happening. Let's see that beautiful orange cover there. Book for children, a creative and humorous book for children that really helps to educate them about what is going on inside their bodies. Let's talk a little bit about the cover then. Tell us about the cover designing process and how easy or difficult that was. Martin says, inspired to hear this. Thank you so much. Oh, Leah says, is it primary school accessible?
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
so, 100%.
7,
Yeah,
8 onwards. Yeah, definitely.
seven
Uh,
plus, I would say, definitely.
yeah. Mm.
Martin says, inspired to hear this. Thank you.
Oh,
Please do
lovely.
share this
Thank you,
out if you
Martin.
find this of value and worth. Come, what I just asked you.
What's inspired the cover?
Yeah.
So I'm into bright colours. In fact, orange is one of my favourites. But at the same time, when your editor or typesetter sent this through, like the ideas, I had the ideas and put those ideas together. I did have a sort of survey of which ones people thought would be more children would be more interested in. In fact, B that came up said that her son said, look, I think he liked the blue one with the face, but this one he said would be more accessible to girls and boys. And that is why I went with this one, because there was a blue one that I really liked. But I was just asking people, I asked the family in the hospital, I asked children along my road. A lot of the boys chose the blue for some odd reason. And then quite a few girls, and another friend of mine, Sade, if she's listening, she asked quite a few children, and then she said they're saying the blue, and then she said, oh no, they came back and she said, you know what? No, it's going both ways. But I thought this would be, marketed better to males and females, children, boys and girls. So here we go, went with that. So yeah, it's really funny. I went to a sip and paint.
I want to go to one of those.
A friend's birthday. Brilliant. And I tried, it was like, do you want to see what's in your mind, your imagination, your goals?
Yeah.
And I tried reproducing this. I threw it away the other day. I mean, it was
you should have brought it on for the interview. I absolutely love the cover.
Seriously, I should have bought it and showed you what I tried to reproduce.
I'm sure you're much better than me.
But your one is much, much better than mine. So
big up to Bryony Dick Cooper,
Bryony, that's it, yeah. She did a sterling job.
A couple of things here. I remember I think that doing the polls is really good, because number one, you get engagement from the audience. Sometimes what I might think looks good, or what you might think looks good, is going to be completely different when you ask your target audience. So it's really interesting, the different choices there. Definitely. You know that I love the orange one. So Martin says good choice. B says my son loves the color orange. Yay!
Orange. There you go.
Perfect. So what are your plans moving forward? Do you have any other books that you're planning to write, or you are writing, or planning to publish? What's next for Judith?
So, after a whole load of marketing and hoping everybody gets this and more, I am working on the second part, which will be the body's happenings. I'll sort of tweak because it's the Mind Your Body series, but it will be on alcohol. And then after that, I want to do it on maybe smoking. But I'm also in the process of writing another sort of sci-fi horror flick, which is called Blinker. And anybody living in Hackney will know some of the roads that I use, and basically Blinker is about a being from another planet that wants to destroy this planet, and does that by the sorrow that is caused. So it's causing Blinker is causing more and more sorrow, more and more harm, and I'm using it's a gang. So it's a gang that's the other being who is trying to find Blinker and destroy Blinker before he opens the portal where the dark ones come through and totally destroy Earth. Gets involved with the gang and turns them around, where they help to save the Earth, and people don't realize that. And I suppose, young people around, 16, 17, 18 are getting such a bad rap. 2, 3 young males, you're a gang. So I'm, so it's around that. But it's really, I read it to a couple of people, the first couple of pages, and they're very, very critical, and they will be harsh with their criticism. My cousin and another good friend of mine, and they will tell you the truth. And they loved it. They said it's sending chills down their spine. So I have to complete it because it sends chills down my spine. It's called Blinker.
Love it.
And the blinker is, you see something in the corner of your eye, and then often you look and you blink it away, it goes. That's the entity, Blinker.
All right, let's get Blinker out. Let's get Blinker written. Who's interested in Blinker? Let me know. Sci-fi call horror. Scares me, but it sounds very interesting. Okay, so a couple of things here. Leah says my head of primary has had author talks before. Awesome. So definitely, I
Ooh,
think author talks would be an amazing route for you as well. In
definitely.
terms of getting a copy of the book, you can get a signed copy from our bookshop. Get a cop. Copy of Judith's book
There you
at
go.
consciousdreamsbookshop.com. This is a signed copy. If you buy from authors directly, it's so much better. Number one, you get a personalized signed copy, and authors get 3 times more royalties if you buy from our bookshop or buy directly from the author. Or it's available at any good retailers such as Amazon. Here's the link, I've thrown that up as well, or any retailer online. With Amazon, do keep ordering. It might say temporarily out of stock. I've had this conversation so many times and done posts about it. They do that sometimes, but if you keep ordering, it's not a problem. It will arrive. Can you tell us, Judith, just to finish off, how people can contact you?
Well, my email address.
No,
I can
social
give my
media
email
or what
address.
you feel comfortable with.
Oh
How
yeah, and
people
social
find
media.
you.
So, oh God, sorry. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Instagram is Judai Israel, and Facebook is just Judith Daniels. You find me. I've got my pictures up on everything, and LinkedIn's the same. So put it in, contact. There you find me.
Amazing. All right. Do you have any last words of wisdom for let's just go for young people who are maybe they want to really do something, really want to achieve something in life, but don't know how. They feel blocked and that they're not sure whether or not they should be, or how they should go about doing it.
I think
It's
the
really
first thing,
random.
yeah, no, I mean, talk to somebody, isn't it? Find somebody, a mentor, somebody you could just really be honest and open with about where you're at, and then speak to your mind, because that blockage is mind too, who doesn't want anything for you. And we all have that. The easiest way is no way, or the lazy way, or I can't be asked way. But with your mind, because you've already got that in mind that you want to do something, you just got a block. Then you speak to mind one and you tell like mind one, where do I go from here? Keep speaking to mind one. Mind two, the voice will begin to fade and then you'll be able to move on. So I think, speaking to your mind and speaking to somebody else that would encourage, they say pitch your tent against people that would encourage you. You know, everybody I think's got one friend that might encourage them, or they speak to their family. If not, there's so many books out there, even for young people, to encourage them. But I think the first thing you've got to speak to yourself, because in the end, if it's going to be down to you anyway, in the end, you make
Amazing.
the decision, yay or nay. So that would be my words, which I have to take on as well.
There you go. And we all give advice, and sometimes we give advice. It's advice that we've got to take as well. So that's
Yeah,
beautiful. Thank you
definitely.
so much. Beautiful, wise
Thank
words. If
you.
you want to learn more about Mind One and Mind Two, or Mind One and Second Mind, you must
And
check
second
out.
one,
Let's see the cover.
the,
The body's
the
happening.
body's happening.
Thank you so much, Judith. We'll see you
Thank you.
next week at 7 p.m. GMT, where I'll be interviewing, and I won't tell you who. Not because I've forgotten. It's because you need to log on and find out. All right. Have a beautiful evening. Bye.
Lovely.